We'd like to welcome everyone out to this afternoon's Planning and Zoning meeting. We'd like to remind you to please put your phones on airplane mode or vibrate or silence or off, however you want to do it, so it won't disturb the meeting. This will be a rather short meeting. We have a small, short video that we'd like you all to watch, how things are run. So if you would please run the video.
Welcome to the City of Mesa Planning and Zoning Board meeting. We appreciate your interest in the future development of our community and welcome your comments. At this time, we ask you to turn off or select the vibrate option on your mobile devices. Today's agenda includes a consent agenda. These items will be read into the record and acted on in one motion. If you would like to speak on any of these items, please fill out a blue card located in the back of the room and bring it to the front. The items will then be removed from the consent agenda and voted on individually. Each case will be introduced by city staff, then the applicant, followed by public comments. The Planning and Zoning Board makes recommendations to the City Council and votes on each case. City Council meetings are held twice a month at 5:45 p.m. in the Council chambers. Visit mesaaz.gov to view their meeting schedule. All planning and zoning meetings are broadcast live and rebroadcast on Mesa Channel 11. To view the programming schedule, visit mesachannel11.com.
Well, that was a surprise that it was so loud. We'd like to let everyone know that on this agenda, items D1 and D2 have been completely withdrawn from this meeting and they will not be discussed at all. That was the 2836 South Signal Butte Road located on the southwest corner of Signal Butte and Guadalupe. That one will not be discussed at all. Our first item of business is to consider the minutes from the December 10th study session and the December 11th regular hearing. Do I hear a motion?
I'll move for approval.
Is there a second?
A second.
All right, please vote. Voting is unanimous. Thank you, Board. All right, if you are here to discuss a particular case, you need to fill out a blue card. We usually hit the consent agenda pretty rapidly. So if you have not filled out a blue card and you wish to do so, give you a second to do it while we're getting ready to read the consent agenda. I don't see anyone running madly for the blue cards. So we will have two consent agendas tonight. And Mr. Clement has graciously agreed to read the millions of words on the consent agenda.
My pleasure. Consent agenda number 1. C1, C14-003, District 4, 345 South Street, located west of the northwest corner of Broadway Road and Gilbert Road, rezoned from RM3 to RM3 Biz and site plan approval. Recommendation is continuance to February 19th, 2014 meeting. We also have item E1, 345 Villas, District 4, 345 South Street, located west of the northwest corner of Broadway Road and Gilbert Road. Request will allow development of a multiple resident townhome development. That is also continued till February 19th, 2014 meeting. We have item E2, Armstrong Citrus Property, District 5, 4004 East Hermosa Vista Drive, North Side, located south and east of McDowell Road and Val Vista Drive. This request will allow the development of a single residence subdivision, approval with conditions. And we have on this first one also item...
Mr. Chairman?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think we've got two things. You had a blue card and that was for?
That is for our second consent agenda.
Okay. But isn't this particular item is on the second consent agenda?
14-004.
Which is the second consent. I believe that's one Mr. Clement was just reading.
Yeah.
I'm actually on the first consent.
Right. It sounded like you were reading item C2.
Yeah.
Did I read the wrong one?
Yes.
Then let's strike that last one.
So it's item C1.
Okay, what I thought I was reading was item C1. Then I skipped over to E1, E2, and then I was moving on to E5. Is that
You
correct?
missed E1.
I missed E1?
Yes.
Okay, should we
Let's start
over
again.
again?
But let me make our audience aware
Absolutely.
that the case Z14-004 has been continued to the next public meeting, and we will not be hearing public comment on that. No. Which one?
That's the one he wants to speak.
Oh, on Hermosa,
We just
Vista.
need to pull it off the second consent.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so C2 comes off
The second consent agenda.
the second consent.
First
All right, we gonna
consent
try it
stays
again?
in.
Let's try it again.
Okay, here we go. Scratch everything I said up to now.
Mr. Chairman, I guess we missed one downstairs.
What did we do?
So item E2, that is also the Hermosa Vista property, and so it should not be on the first consent. Actually,
Okay,
it's come
good.
off consent altogether because of the card that was turned in.
Item E2 should be on the second.
Actually, it's pulled off totally.
Okay,
Because of the
that's
card
probably
that's
what
turned in.
messed us up. So
Okay,
E2 is off for discussion.
And C2 and E2 are related thereof.
Okay, glad somebody's paying
Okay,
attention.
C2.
Are we ready for me to try it one more
Okay, let's
time?
start it again.
Shall I get pre-approval before I read? Our first consent agenda includes item C1, Z14-003, 345 South Street, rezone RM3 to RM3-biz, and site plan approval. That is continuance to the February 19th meeting. The next item on the first consent agenda is item E1, 345 Villas, 345 South Shouse Street, that's District 4. That a request will allow the development of a multiple resident townhouse development. That is continued until the February 19th meeting. Now, we also have on our first agenda two more items. They include item E5, Mesa Spring Training and Riverview Park Subdivision in District 1. 2100 West 8th Street, and that is approval with conditions. The final item is E6, Leawood, District 2, 4125 East Southern Avenue. That request is to allow a development of a single resident subdivision, and that is approval with conditions. Did I do better this time?
Thank you, Mr. Clement. All right, we have the consent agenda as read. Do I have a motion?
So,
Motion to approve the first consent agenda.
second.
Brad, did you second? All right, thank you. Please vote. Passes unanimously. All right, now, Mr. Clement, would you read our second consent
I
agenda?
need to recuse myself on items, now I don't know what's left on, items C3, 4, and E3. I will be
Yes.
recusing myself
I
on
have-
this consent agenda.
Okay. Are we ready? Okay. The second consent agenda includes items C3, Z14-005, 5656 East Albany Street, the rezoning from Maricopa County R18SC to City of Mesa RS9AS. The request will establish the City of Mesa zoning based on previously annexed property. That is approval with conditions. And then we have item C4, which is Z14-006 in District 2, 5656 East Albany Street. Again, rezone from RS9AS to RSL RSL 2.5 pad. The request will allow for the development of a single resident subdivision, and that is going to be continued to February 19th. Continuing on, I have one more item, and that is item E3, Farnsworth, District 2, 5656 East Albany Street. The request would allow the development of a single resident subdivision. That will be continued to February 19th.
All right, thank you. Do I hear a motion for the second consent agenda?
So moved.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, please cast your votes. The second consent agenda passes unanimously with Ms. Coombs abstaining. All right, let's move over to our first agenda item, which will be, which one is it? C2, case Z14-004, District 5, the 4004 East Hermosa Vista Drive, located south and east of McDowell Road and Val Vista Drive, approximately 12.7 acres, rezoned from RS35 to RS35 PAD, and a site plan review.
Mr. Carter, I need to recuse myself from this item as well as the companion item on E2
All right, thank you, Ms.
for a
Jones.
possible conflict.
All right. We'd like to first hear a short synopsis from staff, and then we'll hear from our citizen who presented a blue card. So, Wahid, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Chairman and member of the board. As you mentioned, this is a rezoning for a subdivision at 4004 East Hermosa Vista. It's for 12 lots. It's on 2.7 acres approximately. The rezoning is from RS35 to RS35 PAD. It's basically for future homes, 3,500 to 6,000 square feet homes, and the lots ranging from 32,000 to 43,000 square feet, and it will be a privately gated subdivision. The lots are approximately 120 by 250 feet in depth. The applicant has indicated or demonstrated preserving some of the citrus. It is in the citrus sub-area plan, and connections to the canal bank has been conditions, pedestrian connections, and other upgrades to the perimeter walls. And so staff doesn't have any significant issues. Staff recommend approval with conditions, and the applicant has agreed to those conditions. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have.
We'd like to, board member, do you have any questions for staff at this point? All right, then we'd like to ask Mr. Michael Norberg to please come forward. If you would, when you reach the podium, give us your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Michael Norberg, 2521 North Maple, Mesa, 85215. Live in the community Vista Estancia that's just immediately west of the Armstrong property. So we've had a couple meetings. I don't see Paul here, Paul Dugas, who does the... Oh, I didn't see you, Paul. From the back, you look different. And the meetings have been fairly good in terms of what they've laid out and what Jeff has planned out there. Our main concern and what I wanted to make sure was, and we've talked to Paul about this but not been given any assurances, is the wall that separates the two communities, at least Vista Estancia on the far west side of this property, is very kind of a poorly constructed original dually wall, and want to make sure that that's looked at. I know that you said in your conditions that there were going to be some improvements to the perimeter wall, but I'm not sure what that includes, and that was the chief concern from our neighborhood and our HOA, that wall is secure because that's where the road is going, is on that west side for those lots. So I'm happy to answer any questions if there is those for me, but otherwise we feel like, again, with requesting the PAD versus the straight 35 would be acceptable, but we just want to make sure that wall is secure as that comes into the backyards of some of our homes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Norberg. Board members, are there any questions for Mr. Norberg? All right. Staff, do we need to, is that going to be automatically addressed through the building permit process, or do we need to make an addition to our conditions?
If the board chooses, I think we need to make conditions, because on the exhibit I'm looking at, it says existing wall to remain. So if the applicant agrees, it needs to be a condition of approval.
Yeah. Please come forward. State your name and address, please.
Paul Dugas from Land Holdings, 3321 East Baseline Road, Gilbert. We did speak about the perimeter walls. The upgraded walls were more in consideration for along the canal. Mr. Norberg requested that we take a look at his wall, the wall on the west side of our property. And I told him at the meetings we would definitely look at that. The wall is not in bad condition. It is a dually wall. I did speak with Jeff Blanford, and we're going to look at it and see if there is any reason to upgrade it. It may need to be stuccoed. We may add some rock accents to it, different things like that. But, at this point, the wall, unless it's coming down or it's in need of repair, and it is, I feel, in very good shape, the plan is to leave the dually wall there. Any place that needs repairs, we'll take care of it, and we may structurally improve it some. And I will take a look at it with Mr. Norberg, but we're not willing to replace the whole wall because we feel the wall is in pretty good shape.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we've heard, are there any other comments for any of our applicant staff or others? If not, then I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I guess I'll make a motion to approve case Z14-04.
Is there a second?
Second that.
All right, please cast your votes. Right, passes unanimously. Now we have to do the item E2. Do I hear a motion for item E2, Z14-004?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve case E2 under preliminary plats. Armstrong Citrus Properties.
All right, do I have a second? All right, please cast your votes. Passes unanimously again with Ms. Coombs abstaining due to all right. Just as a general thought, those things usually should be taken care of during the permit process, I would think. They are not a purview of planning and zoning. Am I correct in that thinking, John?
As a general rule, I think that's correct. There's sometimes when there's some greater need for the wall to meet a planning purpose of the separations or the screenings that we're after. A standard single-family residential dividing wall like that's really a private property issue for them to work out.
Okay. All right. We'll go to our last item. Hopefully I've got the right last item. We'd like to open a...
D3, D4.
Yeah. We need to do a separate announcement for the GPMinor, right? Okay. We'd like to open a public meeting for GPMinor 14-002, District 1, which is the 3200 to 3300 blocks of East McKellips Road on the north side, and the 2000 to 2100 blocks of the North 32nd Street east side, located at the northeast corner of McKellips Road and 32nd Street, approximately 37 acres. A minor general plan amendment to adjust the boundaries of the existing Mesa 2025 general plan land use designation from PSP to LDR 1-2. Right, are there any citizens that would like to comment on this?
Mr. Chairman, I need to recuse myself.
All right, thank you, Lisa. I see no one coming forward. We'll close our meeting on GPMinor 14-002 and entertain a motion. And if the board would like, could include Z14-002 and E4, the preliminary plat for estates at 32nd Street. Do I hear a motion?
For GPMinor 1402 for adoption. And then the preliminary plat estates at 32nd Street, District 1, which is E4. Does it also include the Z14002?
Yes.
And Z14002 approval with conditions.
All right. Do I have a second? All right. Please cast your votes. Passes unanimously with Ms. Hudson abstaining. That concludes our planning and zoning meeting. That was a very simple one. I think next month is going to be a lot more exciting than this one. All right, if there's nothing else, we'll adjourn until next month.